Maybe it was a recent addition? I don't really know. But there's limited success over here. Nicaragua declares war on Honduras. Yeah, have fun with that, guys. Have fun with that. You can do that, and... yeah. Over here... Princely Federation declared war on Dravida Nadu. Another rebel state, essentially. Down in the far south. Yeah, the Princely Federation are having some problems, I think it's safe to say. And Brazil has declared war on the Brazilian Republic Army. Republican Army, even. Apparently, some people in the army aren't happy about this attempted restoration of the monarchy thing they've got going on in Brazil right now. Shocking, I know. So some retired army officers rebelled, is what appears to be going on there. Brazil has declared war on Rio Grande do Sul. And Sao Paulo. Yeah, you have fun with that, Brazil. Mass revolt breaking out all over Brazil. I have an inkling that this is not a war that the Brazilian government is going to win. Also, I have taken control of a bit of territory across the river, so we have a foothold in CSA territory up north. And now we have slightly more of a foothold. So, if the Union State would care to reinforce us up here, maybe we could use that. The federal government is basically fucked at this point. The federal collapse, as it says. It appears the federal government is on its last legs, so its land has been swallowed up by the other factions, and what is left is but the last remnants of its army, now demoralized and suffering from mass desertions, but holding out against all hope that a miracle might save them. Some federal leaders have already met with the enemy factions generals to negotiate the terms of their inevitable complete surrender. Not that surprising, to be honest, given that they were fighting 3 other factions. And Iceland has now declared its independence from Denmark. We'll see if they manage to last, or if one of the filthy socialists conquers them or something. And thanks for that, you bastards. Okay, the US has been annexed and the CSA got most of it. This is not particularly of the good. Quickly, we need to occupy some provinces that we don't get cut off. Well, I say that. Some of the Union State armies are already busy doing so. The fall of Rio de Janeiro. Brazil's capital's been conquered. Let's see here. George Michaelis dies. The former Reichschancellor George Michaelis died today at the age of 76, succeeding von Bethmann-Hollweg as German Chancellor in 1917. The first, and until now only, commoner to have acceded to the post of German Chancellor, was considered by many as the stooge of the Hindenburg-Ludendorff dictatorship, being forced to resign and replaced by Hindenburg after Ludendorff grew dissatisfied with him in 1919. As a former Reichschancellor, received a state funeral, but the Kaiser pointedly refused to attend. He was a commoner and a stooge, but a chancellor above all. The Black Dossier. A group of anonymous officers and administrators in Middle Africa have compiled documentation and evidence of illegal activity by Statthalter von Goering, presented it to the cabinet. The evidence, if true, is very serious. According to what they allege, Goering has been using the generous state budget we have provided him to buy off politicians throughout the Reichspakt in order to secure support for his administration, as well as demanding other state officials pay into a slush fund. Even more darkly, it alleges, with less evidence, that Goering and his loyalists gather information for blackmail against his own employees and have been involved in the kidnapping and intimidation of journalists and even hiring assassins. Well, this implicates some powerful people in Berlin. Imagine the political implications if this would get out. No, better we bury it quietly. Our fellow AUS bros have done that for us. At this point, I don't know if we have the manpower to defeat the CSA, but I still plan to try. If we could somehow make it to Chicago, I think that would help, but I feel the odds of that are rather long. Syndicalists in the Bhartiya Commune. That's nice. India has syndicalists. Let's see. Turkestan has been conquered by the filthy socialists in Russia. Khiva and Bukhara are still pretending to have a chance, though. And Peru has declared war on Ecuador. Ugh, Pink Canada. I didn't notice that until someone mentioned it in one of my streams, but that is just offensive. And I take it back, Kiva is dead now. And we've peaced out with the Pacific States of America. So now the CSA is fighting both of us. Or we, I say we, I mean the American Union state has. With their forces hard pressed by the combined syndicates of America. A representative from both the Pacific States of America, the American Union state, agreed to a temporary truce, lest syndicate forces, I think is what that should say, roll over them both and win the American Civil War. Whether their agreement comes too late, or can even last more than a few months before both sides turn on the other, remains to be seen. Some onlookers appear to agree this unprecedented agreement indicates that for now the combined syndicates has the definite upper hand. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We're making some territorial gains here and there, but for the most part, Union forces are simply holding the line, attempting to halt offensive action by the CSA. Let's see. The Black Dossier, not satisfied with the cabinet's decision, discontented officers have leaked their evidence and allegations. While we are pushing back against the more wild and baseless speculation, here to the public an investigation is necessary. Damn it. I figured that we could keep Middle Africa together more effectively if we didn't investigate, because I suspect this may be part of the event chain that causes them to break up. And we lose 10 stability, but and they get the corruption investigation event.
Angetreten. Achtung. Angetreten.
For the time being,
Abstand halten.
we managed to win over there, but
Angetreten.
it looks like the CNT are trying desperately to force us back. Only one of my divisions is over in the region, though. Maybe if I have them both hang there, it would help.
Angetreten.
No, that's not helping.
Abstand halten.
Not helping. The Spanish Kingdom is making gains on other fronts, though. Moderate ones, mind you, but they're still gains. They're even attempting to push the CNT back from Spain.
Bereit. Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Guys, put your backs into it. I want to keep these gains, god damn it. The Mozambique Bush War. Really? Of all the times. Middle Africa's having a corruption investigation, and they choose now to go to war with Portugal to take their colonies. Honestly. You need to get your priorities in order, Goering. Though there are some that believe old-fashioned colonial wars are a relic of the pre-Welt Creek era, recent events in Africa have shown that man's thirst on the thirst for battle on the Dark Continent is not in any danger of abating. When tensions between German Middle Africa and the Portuguese colonies have degenerated in recent months, and into somewhat farcical disputes involving little more than cattle raiding or have degenerated. Let's read that again. I completely fucked it up. Growing tensions between German Middle Africa and the Portuguese colonies have degenerated in recent months from somewhat farcical disputes involving little more than cattle raiding to open conflict in Mozambique and Angola, with colonial troops and their white officers on both sides waging fruitless guerrilla war that is sure to cost many lives. Well, whatever. Not like we actually care about Portugal. So if they want to conquer it, go right a fucking ahead. And yeah, looks like we are indeed probably going to get pushed back from over there.
Ziel anvisiert.
Let's halt that attempted attack. The German candidate becomes the new High Commissioner of the Legation Cities. In the outbreak of the Second American Civil War, the Legation Cities, heavily reliant on American protection and influence, fell into a power vacuum. Council had to vote on a new High Commissioner to lead the mandate, since they've chosen the German delegate. Early signals an anti-Japanese turn in the cities, and possibly a pro-Zealy alignment. Most fortuitous indeed. Let us choose a few peoples over here. Industrial company next, I think. Going to have to move you back into that, I think. Concentrated industry is done. I'll get excavation 1, so I can do more resource extraction. Now, Spain. How goes you? We've been pushed. Our reserve divisions have been pushed out of there again. So let's head back in. Argentina has declared war on the Patagonian workers' front. That war's finally broken out. And Cara has been annexed. Fine. Halt the attack. Halt the bloody attack. If you're at all curious about that Patagonian thing, basically it's a splinter faction of Argentina that is a socialist region, and they're a puppet of Chile. So Argentina is fighting them both. That's the long and short of what's going on there anyways. But over here, we need to keep trying to make some gains here in Spain. Oh, coffee enjoyer, hello. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to... We are fighting with volunteer forces in 2 civil wars at once. To try and stop Red America and Red Spain from happening. You're Cuban? I'm from the US, specifically Virginia. Although I am playing as Germany. And most of my home state has decided that joining the combined syndicates of America is the thing to do. Well, it was 50% joining and 50% getting invaded and occupied by the CSA back when the US federal government was still around. Well, I have volunteers helping out the American Union state, so I'm trying to stop the CSA from winning. However, they're currently taking on both the Union state, which has my volunteers. Oh. I tend to make a point to not discuss politics on here, to be honest. Just because it's inevitable someone with a different opinion will come in here and get pissed off. No worries. But I'll just reference an expression from LA Noire with regards to that whole thing. Friends who want to stay friends shouldn't discuss religion or politics. Yes. What the hell? I did not want to do that. Yeah. To be perfectly honest, the CSA is probably going to win this, given that they have the majority of the territory and they're taking on both of us. And the fact that I can only have 2 divisions as volunteers. We were doing fine when I was just fighting against the US federal government, but now not so much. I'm doing... The Spanish federals are doing better at their whole Civil War thing, to be honest. Even though they're fighting on 2 fronts, and they have enemies at the gates of Madrid, basically. They're still doing better than the Union State and the Pacific States of America right now. Still, I expect this Civil War, both of them in fact, to still be going on by the time the Weltkrieg starts. And one of my divisions has been forced to retreat from the front lines again. And I'm sending them back into it again. No Hungary. Well, I don't tend to play as Hungary, but I will say they're currently at war with Austria, who decided they wanted to give a bunch of the Hungarian minorities representation in their empire as part of the Augslicks, or however the hell you say it, the treaty thing in 1937. Which resulted in war between the 2. But yeah, it is kind of bonkers that Hungary has no focus tree, but Liberia does. Oh yeah, I never looked at them, but... Wow. Seriously, does anyone actually play as Liberia? I know I don't. I've never actually touched Kaiser Redux, to be honest. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I've never played it myself.
Ihre Befehle?
Let's see. The Sovereign Statthalter, Hermann von Goering, has refused to step down, though his intermediary Karl Schmidt, he has argued that Statthalter is a sovereign office able to step outside the law and secure. With loyal members of his army, we have no easy means of resolving the crisis. Having won the Kenyatta Sulf affair, Schmidt argues this situation takes precedence on the affair and therefore should be subjected to the same ruling. Yeah, he won that affair because I decided to squash the court case in an effort to not have Middle Africa break up into 1 trillion different and splinter states and cost me all of my territory in Africa. Let's see. You could issue a warrant for Goering's arrest for treason, or let's step down. Okay. See ya. Let's see. So, how do I want to approach this? There's the treason or step down. I think, you know, just because I want to see what will happen if I do this, I am going to issue a warrant for his arrest for treason. This will probably screw over Middle Africa, but I'm too curious not to try it. Let's see. This is done. Get new weapons. It's here now as our next focus. So, yeah. I continue to attempt to hold back the CSA in this one territory. And it continues to not go great. Great. We're gonna lose this place up here, I just know it. They also have many more divisions to throw into this than I do. And we are not going to be able to keep this, so I am going to do the smart thing and order a tactical withdrawal. No, it isn't running away, it's a tactical withdrawal. And while we have a warrant for his arrest ongoing, Middle Africa is still sending us stuff. This is highly entertaining to me. Yes, we have issued a warrant for your leader's arrest, but you'll still give us stuff. That amuses me.